This is an extremely crucial report. The contents of it will be extremely crucial. But yes, we're in fact getting some of those details as well as we in fact speak about this report, which has been handed over. At the time that it was handed over to the President, Ram Nath Kovind was present. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Arjun Ram Meghwal, who's the Minister for Law and Justice, the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, was present as well. All members of the committee were in the room as they handed over this very crucial report to President Droupadi Murmu. Several consultations, several rounds of consultations, not just with political parties seeking their opinions one-on-one, but also with stakeholders, with experts. All of these people were involved in these discussions. It was a very extensive consultation process, Piyush, that this committee had with several groups over several rounds as well. And now finally they've submitted this report. Is it likely that based on, because we'd heard that they are possibly going to endorse the holding of simultaneous elections, is it likely that it could be implemented by 2029, Piyush?
Well, that needs to be looked at by the President of India. But yes, after looking at all the recommendations and the views that have been given by multiple stakeholders and political parties, the President of India will take a decision on that. It will talk with the government. It will talk with Election Commission of India. It will also look into how the resources can be used as far as implementing this the reports of One Nation One Poll committee is concerned. But there are views of many political parties. Many opposition political parties have opposed this. Remember that JP Nadda had also gone there to submit the views of BJP to the One Nation One Poll committee, which is chaired by former President Ram Nath Kovind. Remember that there is one important view which BJP puts forth is that if the simultaneous elections take place, and it is not only going to save a lot of money, but will also help the country as far as the security is concerned, because whenever elections take place, the paramilitary forces, defense forces, those are deployed at various sensitive locations. They get into the election bodies in election process, and then it somewhere hampers various things. He had also mentioned that the development works come to a halt whenever there are elections, because if there is election in one state, then the development work which is supposed to take in other parts of the country, they are also stopped because of the model code of conduct. So there are different views of various political parties, stakeholders, constitutional experts, and looking at that now, the President of India will have to have a consultation, extensive consultation with Government of India, with Election Commission of India and other stakeholders, and then only this report can further be implemented.
Okay. Piyush, just stay on with us. You're seeing those pictures, of course, of the handing over of that report by former President Ram Nath Kovind to President Droupadi Murmu. You see the Home Minister in those pictures as well. Also present were the Law Minister, Mr. Arjun Ram Meghwal, as well as Ghulam Nabi Azad, and all members of that One Nation One Election Committee. It's an extremely crucial report. It was a committee that was constituted by the Centre on the 2nd of September 2023, and the committee was entrusted with the responsibility of seeking everyone's opinions, including that of political parties and stakeholders, experts, everyone, do their own research as well, speak with the Law Commission as well, whether simultaneous elections can be held in the country, simultaneous assembly and Lok Sabha elections. The opinion of the centre, the BJP, the ruling party, has been that the constant holding of elections in the country every year within a gap of few months basically puts a strain on resources, on security forces as well that need to be deployed every time elections are held, and it's a constant process that just hampers administrative work, because the model code of conduct comes into effect and basically you have to stop with any sort of governance work per se. Akshita, my colleague, is joining us for more on this. Akshita, a very comprehensive report which has been handed over by this committee to President Droupadi Murmu. It remains to be seen, of course, what are the details of the report which they've submitted. But this is going to be path-breaking in the way that it actually takes the process of holding elections forward in the country.
That's right, Paulami. So we've got the report with us, and I'm just going to read out for you some of the highlights to get a sense of really what this report has spoken of. There are several chapters which go into specifics really of issues that need to be considered when talking about simultaneous elections. And I'll just read out a couple of recommendations made by this panel. First of all, if I were to read a recommendation made with regards to how they believe we can get to one nation, one election, they say after examination of all relevant evidence, including the macroeconomic analysis, the committee finds that the loss of simultaneity in elections after the first 2 decades of India's independence has had a baneful effect on the economy, on polity and society. Several elections are being held every year. This casts a huge burden on the government, businesses, workers, courts and civil society at large. And this is the important bit. It says the committee therefore recommends that the government must develop a legally tenable mechanism in order to restore the cycle of simultaneous elections. Now, besides that, also you can see here, it says that the committee recommends that in the first step, simultaneous elections to the House of the People and the state legislative assemblies be held. In the second step, the elections to municipalities and panchayats will be synchronized with the House of the People and state legislative assemblies. This is what we've been referring to when we say that this particular committee also recommends a 3-tier system as far as elections are concerned. Now, besides that, some other highlights I want to read for you is there's one particular chapter that goes and delves deep into the rationale for simultaneous elections, and I found it interesting really the conclusion that the panel did come to. 2 points to it. First, they say the holding of simultaneous elections along with synchronizations of elections of local bodies represents a transformative reform aimed at reinvigorating India's democratic governance. They also say, and I'm reading out here, they're saying by aligning electoral cycles and rationalizing electoral expenditures, simultaneous elections offers a pathway to enhance efficiency, political stability and fiscal sustainability. They've also said simultaneous elections offer a robust and multi-pronged solution to overcome challenges and strengthen the electoral process comprehensively and aid in overall prosperity. Now, another point made is they've said as the nation embarks on the path towards electoral reform and innovation, the concept of simultaneous election emerges as a beacon of hope and progress, signaling a transformative journey toward a more vibrant, resilient and participatory democracy. So they've made several points where they say that, look, this will actually help democracy thrive further in the country. And they make several references to what has happened previously about how decades after India's independence you had simultaneous elections and how it worked to the benefit of the country. So these are just some highlights. Give us some time, Paulami. We'll find more of the highlights for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very comprehensive report, but Akshita and team will, of course, go through that report and bring us all the big highlights of that very important and significant report.